Welcome in, guys. Deck of the week. I'm here with the Discord, your boy Hida Kenshiro, again with legendary deck techs. Hida, what do we got today? Let's get into it.
Today we have Azlask, the Swelling Scourge. Costs 3 mana, 3 generic. It's a 2/2. Whenever it or another colorless creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. And then you can pay Wooburg to give all your creatures +X/+X, where X is the number of experience counters you have. And then your scions and spawns you control, Indestructible and Annihilator 1. So if you can pay multiple times, the Annihilator just starts to stack. But I'm not a mean guy, so I don't like Annihilator, so I try not to use it.
Okay.
I'm going to go over the lands first because there's not much to talk about. I got Triomes, I got Shocklands, but there are a couple of weird choices that might not otherwise think about.
Okay. Huh.
There we go. So first up, Roadside Reliquary. There's some discussion on whether or not this card is actually that good, but it comes down. It can pay you. It pays a colorless mana, and then you can tap 2 generic, and then tap and sack it to draw a card if you control an artifact, and draw a card if you control an enchantment. I have a decent amount of both in the deck, which is why I run it.
I like that.
Shifting Woodland is a great card. There are any number of permanents in this deck that I would like it to become.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, we got Mirix. Makes a colorless mana. Turn it comes on to the battlefield, it can tap for any color of mana. And then you can pay 3, tap it, and create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian artifact creature token with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block.
Whoa.
So that's in there because if we can keep making colorless creatures, then Azlask will just keep getting us more experience counters, and we can do more things.
Okay.
Next, we're going to go with the artifacts. This deck makes tokens. This Idol of Oblivion should be obvious.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little bit of card draw and a 2-mana rock. More 2-mana rocks. More 2-mana rocks.
The usual suspects.
Yeah. Fellware Stone because it's a 5-color deck, so you're never going to not have something.
Yeah, I highly recommend that card to everyone.
And then the last one is Liquid Metal Torque. I got 3 to 4 artifact enchantment destruction stuff in this deck. So if you need to blow something up, you can turn it into an artifact real quick and then...
Oh my god, for them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Alright, so next we got, again, it's a tokens deck, Skullclan.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got a 5-color deck is going to need Chromatic Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Timeless Lotus to give you Wooburg whenever you need it.
Oh, what?
It all comes in tapped. It's not terribly slow if you can ramp out to it.
What's the cost on that?
And then 5.
Wow. Okay.
Then we got Chromatic Orrery, which says you can spend mana as though it were mana of any color, and then it taps for 5. And you can pay 5, tap it, draw a card for each color among permanents you control. Now, a lot of my deck is the Void, but a lot of it also isn't. So sometimes this works for great card draw, and sometimes it's just a big mana producer. That makes it so I don't have to worry about color.
Okay.
And then last we got Spawning Pit. It says it costs 2 to sacrifice a creature, put a counter on Spawning Pit. Pay 1, remove 2 counters from Spawning Pit, create a 2/2 colorless artifact creature token into play.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a great card if you need artifacts, or you need a sack outlet, or you need, in this case, more colorless creatures. Now for the enchantments. We got Awakening Zone, makes dudes. Kozilek's Unsealing, mostly makes dudes. Not a whole lot of 7 drops in this deck.
Yeah.
So, yeah. From Beyond makes dudes. Scrub's Hive
Makes dudes.
Then we got Path of Annihilation, which also makes dudes, but also lets your dudes tap mana, your Eldrazi that you make.
Good card.
Yeah. And then to go with that, we got a Haste Source. We got 2 of those in the deck. This one's Rising of the Day. There's a lot of legendary creatures in this deck. So you get the little buff. Then since we're pumping our creatures up, we're going to want Trample somewhere, so we put the Roots Uprising in.
Yeah,
and then lastly, we got Kindred Discovery to draw some cards.
Good art, wow.
Yeah, I love that art.
Yeah.
So we got a ramp package, which I'll show you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
All right. We got 6 cards for ramp.
Okay.
We got the typical 2-mana ramp cards that green players almost always should play. Ramp of Growth, but it's there in a pinch if I need a certain color. But everything else will fetch a forest or a not forest. So, okay. Even though I turned the phone down. So, yeah, everything else will get a forest or a not forest, so you can go get Triumphs, you can go get Shocklands if you want them.
The usual things.
Yeah, the usual things.
Yeah, I like that.
Then we got Tempted Discovery, which, that is possibly the best ramp spell in the game.
So tempting, man. So tempting. I take it every time.
I actually had nobody take it the last time I played it. And the reason why is because I Winds of Abandon the turn before.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Which I'll get to that in a minute. But, and then we got Guided Passage, which I think is a great card draw card in a 3 to 5 color deck because it costs blue, red, and green.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, reveal your library. Any opponent chooses from among them a creature card, a land card, and a non-creature, non-land card. Put the chosen cards into your hand, shuffle your library.
Yeah, I love that card.
So that gets you a land that you're going to play either on that turn or the next. It gets you a creature, probably the worst creature in your deck that nobody's going to really care about. But when you see the creatures, you'll understand how there's not much anybody's going to do.
Oh my god.
To not like the thing. And then you've got all those artifacts, all those enchantments, and then the rest of this suite of instants and sorceries to put something in your hand. Quite often, if there's something big on the board that nobody can get rid of, I'm getting a kill spell into my hand.
Oh my god.
Somebody can get rid of it.
That's a pretty political card too, because then you'd be like, yo, help, if you look for my card, we'll get this done,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Great card. We got board wipes. Where are they? I think there's one. Yeah. Okay. We got board wipes. Winds of Abandon, which I mentioned earlier. If you overload it, it exiles all creatures you don't control, and their owners get to go get basic lands from their deck to replace them. Isn't that nice of you? You gave them land.
I have like a ton of copies of that card. Never play it.
You should play it. Oh. It's freaking wonderful.
I'll take your advice.
Next, we got Settle the Wreckage. If someone's coming, odd at you, and you manage to keep the 2 white open and have 2 more mana, it does the same thing as Winds of Abandon to whoever is attacking.
Haha.
And then we got White Sun's Twilight, which I won with today. So it is 2 white and X. Notice all my board wipes are 2 white and something.
I kind of noticed, yeah.
I'm leaning a little heavier on white and green in this deck.
Mm.
We got Gain X Life, then create X 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1 and they can't block. If X was 5 or more, destroy all other creatures.
Oh my god.
What happened was, I had a haste source out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cast this for 12, killing everything on the board, and then took out my last opponent with all the mites.
Yeah, because you get them back. I think I have that card. That's actually a really good card.
I think it is too. All right. Now we got targeted removal.
The flashy art.
Not as much as I normally would run, but still a lot.
Yeah. That's. I was kind of like, damn.
We got. I should get a little more creature removal, I think, because really I only have like 3 cards worth: Kozilek's Command, Swords of Plowshares, and Path of Exile.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Return to Dust, which doesn't get used as much by people anymore. I still think it's a good card, even if it is double white and in a 5-color deck, you might not want that. But if you cast it during your main phase, you get to exile 2 things, 2 artifacts, and or
I think that's
enchantments.
good in like a high situation, man. That's a good card.
Yeah, it usually works out pretty well for me.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we got another instant that exiles up to 2 artifact and or enchantments. Or you can basic land cycle it if it's early in the game and you ain't got a right color. So that works out. Then we got Dismantling Wave, which the last time I used this card, I actually cycled it.
Yeah. I cycle it all the time.
Yeah. Normally it'll just blow up 1 thing, 1 artifact or enchantment from each player.
Mm-hmm.
For each opponent, sorry, which, I mean, for 3 mana, that's really good. But if you cycle it, you get to blow up every artifact and enchantment. And then lastly, we got Pick Your Poison, which I used earlier today to blow up a Soul Ring, a Skull Clamp, and a Basilisk Collar.
Oh my god, evil.
On turn 2.
That's awesome. What's the cost on that? 1? Ching.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna peep this list later, guys. List will be in the description. What's good, yo?
Then we got Victimize for a little grave play. You can sack one of the tokens you make. You'll get 2 guys back that you had killed earlier in the game. No, it's never a bad card when it's in your hand.
Yeah, it's there.
Next, we got Shamanic Revelation. Draw a card for each creature you control. Again, make tokens.
Yeah.
Do things. And then Ferocious. Gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater.
I love that card.
Hell yeah.
If Magical Christmas Land, where everything works, you're going to gain a lot of life because you're going to pump your creatures with Azlask.
Yeah, in a Magical Christmas Land.
Magical Christmas Land.
Of course, where it all works out.
Yeah. Lastly, we got some card draw that also makes a token. Unfathomable Truths.
Okay.
Costs 5, draws 3 cards, makes a spawn. Alright. So, got creatures. Creatures that make tokens. Creatures that double tokens. This is an outlier.
I'm already seeing why like you don't care when people search your deck. Like what they're gonna help you no matter what they get.
I guess it makes a dude.
Oh, Roaming Throne, let's go.
So we got a bunch of creatures that make Eldrazi or other colorless creatures in the deck. Mostly Eldrazi.
Okay.
One of my favorite cards is Glaring Fleshraker. It's a pinger for everybody when a artifact creature you control enters the battlefield.
Yeah, dude, I know. I just did an article on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when you cast a colorless spell, you get a colorless creature, thus pinging everybody for 2.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know where you're going.
or one if it's not a creature, a colorless creature. I mean. But we got Drowner of Trues in the deck, which is a MDFC. On the other side, it's green blue, a green blue tap land, which green comes in handy whenever you need it.
Yeah.
I got the double blue on the Kindred Discovery, so having an extra blue somewhere in the deck is nice.
Yeah.
What else we got?
The Locust. Okay. I remember you flexed that.
Doom Brood Nephilim.
Yeah.
This deck has 4 different colors of mana. Which is fine because we're a 5-color deck. It's everything but blue.
Mm-hmm.
And when it deals combat damage to a player, put a number of 1/1 sand creature tokens to play for each land you control. Now you already saw the ramp package in the deck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some land, and I'm gonna fix my mana to cast a spell at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna find a way to make it hit somebody really hard, and then I'm gonna get a bunch more creatures, and then I'm gonna make it hit them hard again later.
No. That's fucking awesome. I remember you flexed that card, but now I get what you're doing with it. That's scary.
Yeah.
What's good, plop dumps?
So we got our second haste source, which is 2 haste sources if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because when it dies, it comes back, and it says Ogre Battle Driver on it, which is wonderful.
You recommended that card to me too.
This was the card I had out when I did the White Sun's Twilight.
Nice. Yeah, for haste.
So we got Rolling Throne. We can name Eldrazi if we want to, or we could name one of the other weird cards in the deck if that's what's going on at that time. Usually it's Eldrazi though, because that doubles up our token, our experience token getting, plus all the other Eldrazi in the deck that create Eldrazi. Their triggers will bubble as well. We got Eldrazi Linebreaker for a little bit of speed. It also gives haste to 1 creature and gives them a buff equal to the number of Eldrazi you control. And it has trample. So usually it's giving itself the haste and extra power.
Love it.
Next we have Kozilek the Broken Reality. It makes all colorless creatures get +3/+2, and then it does some other stuff that I don't really care about that lets you draw cards.
It just looks cool.
I got that art specifically because it looks cool. The other stuff that it does is actually kind of important, but 2 cards from each opponent's hand? From 2 players' hands. Okay. Earlier today, I got Jetmir on the field. The same turn, I got Rapacious One onto the field with that haste source.
Oh.
So what happened was I was forced to attack no matter what because there was a Fantas the Warweaver on the field.
Oh.
And I had haste. So, I played him. I swung in a way that neither of them would die. And since they both hit one of my opponents for 14, since they'd both be 7 after the 2 power bump from Enduring Courage.
Mm-hmm.
It just hits a player. It makes that many spawns. It makes spawns equal to the amount of damage you do. So I went from having 2 creatures to 9 creatures and having all of Jetmir's abilities active.
Yeah, because he needs more creatures for each of his.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
We got token doublers here. We got that sexy oil slick Mondrak.
Oh, a nightmare. I love that. What the hell?
Ogier Talk to triple creature tokens, and Adrix and Niv to double tokens.
Oh, wow.
And then the piece de resistance of the deck. Since we're using experience counters, we might as well use the best experience counter features in the game. We got Minthara, Merciless Soul. He just gives a power boost equal to the number of experience counters you get. So If she's on the field, dudes is strong.
What's her mana cost?
Her mana cost is 2, a black and a white.
Oh, 4, okay.
Next, we got Marin of Clan Neltoth. 2, a green and a black. 3/4. Whenever a creature dies, you get an experience counter. Oh, wait. I already have a card that says that, so we're doubling up on that trigger. But then at the beginning of your end step, choose target creature card in your graveyard. If that card's mana value is less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have, return it to the battlefield. Otherwise, put it in your hand. So more graveyard play. There's only like 2 graveyard plays cards in the deck, but one constantly works and one works one time to get you back 2 creatures, which could be Marin to keep going.
She's the original commander too from when that experience counter stuff came out.
Yep, she is one of the originals. Another one of the originals is Azuri, Claw of Progress. Whenever a creature of power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you get an experience counter. Most of my Eldrazi spawns and scions are 0 or 1 power. So if he's on the board and I'm making dudes, we're having fun. Then at the beginning of combat, you go large by putting a number of +1/+1 counters on a target creature you control, where X is the number of experience counters you have.
Damn, I like that art.
And then my favorite card, Othari, Sun's Glory. It is 3 Oros for a 3/3 flying lifelink haster.
I need that card, bro. That card's actually really dummy good.
Yeah, it is. Whenever it attacks, you get an experience counter and then create a number of 2/2 red rebel creature tokens that are tapped and attacking for each experience counter you have, which is insane.
That's what I'm saying. Because you're gonna have with Azlask, he'll probably already beat in experience counters. He's gonna put in so much like pressure when he just swings.
Without a doubt, if I see him, I get to have him on the field for more than one turn. That usually ends the game. Without a doubt.
What the hell? Yeah, this is crazy. When we played this, I was like worried. Oh yeah, I see Eldrazi, I think Annihilator, I get really nervous. But then as we kept playing, you literally kept saying, it's just tokens. It's just tokens. I was like, it's literally just tokens. So I like the build. It's actually a lot of cards too are putting on my own radar to look into because I like your list, honestly. It's a really, really good setup.
Yeah, so I'm sure you're going to get some criticism on YouTube when you post this. I did not want to run infinite combos.
Yeah.
Why? Because I play in a pod typically that is a bit more mid-power or low power. So I was trying not to put like Eldrazi Displacer in and have infinite experience counters and, start drawing a bunch of cards and doing other things.
That's fucked.
But you could do that with this deck if you wanted to. All you need is one of the Eldrazi that produces 3 creatures at a time, or 2 creatures at a time, because you can sack it and get it back with Marin or Victimize.
Damn.
But if you can keep sacking 3 creatures to pay for the 3 costs of Eldrazi Displacer, you can keep blinking something into play, thus making 3 more guys and getting 3 experience every time you do this.
Oh my god, that's bogus. I get why. Like, that's just going to make your pot attack you every time you play that deck.
And I didn't want that for this deck or, for anybody to feel bad about the fact that I saw a 3 mana card that wins me the game at, any particular point in the game.
Humble King. We like that. Thinking of the pod first. Well, shit. Any closing statements, though, other than that, heat on the deck of the week?
My only closing statement is build what you like.
Damn, I like that. That might be a catchphrase. Well, that's the deck of the week. That was your boy Hida, aka Meat Juices in the Discord. Thank you for the submission, man. Really appreciate you. What more can I say? Let me know if you hate this combo, that he didn't put the unlimited combos in the comments. Let me know if you thought it was cool, you thought about the play group. whatever. We'll have it uploaded. Look for it next week. So, peace.
See ya.
All right, that's the segment.